Before your cart.
Hello and welcome everybody to part two, the first ever part two of a BAMS cast. Commissioner, are you still on site in Spokane, Washington?
Oh yes, sir. I actually just refreshed my beer. I once again forgot the name of it. They have a lot on tap here at the No Light Brewery. It's not Northern Lights. Don't say that in front of anyone. It's not Northern Lights. It's No Light Brewery. Um, but it's refilled, and that's the important part. So yeah, still on site, Spokane, Washington. Tim, I just want to take a moment. It's 2025. We are in BAMS 12, I believe.
Yes.
I was just looking through some old emails. And my goodness, I know it started in 2014. The earliest email I can find is from 2016. It's from BAM's Morning Reads. If you remember, early attentive readers will remember the BAM's Morning Reads. That was the name of it. Team name reviews. I had a specific email for team name reviews. We were changing them. I was and and actually, don't quote this. This may be the first BAMS on site, but here's I go, boys. Sitting in Houston Hampton Inn. I'm not even a Hampton guy. I'm not a Hilton guy anymore. I'm a Marriott guy. My goodness, the times changed. Boys, sitting in a Hampton Inn in Houston, eating my circular turkey sausage and faux scrambled eggs with two additional hard-boiled eggs. I've always been a protein guy. Two additional hard-boiled eggs and two apple juices paired with my shitty black coffee. I couldn't help but notice a couple name changes. Shocker, Growly was one of them. There's more on the next line, and then it's a GIF of the side eye Willy Wonka. Remember that when the internet started, when his GIF was in, yeah. Anyway, we've come a long way. I just want to take a step back. That back then it was an email that was kind of monumental, and today we're not only doing podcasts, blogs, we're doing multiple part podcasts. Um, and it's just it's a cheers moment for the league. We're part two. We're mid-season. BAM's 12. The parody is off the roof. The communication in the chats are endless. We got guys playing professional golf courses today. Guys coast to coast down in Florida, East Coast. Ford is on a cruise right now. Um, it's just a good development, good growth with the league, and we got a lot to talk about. So it wasn't one podcast worth. So we're in part two, and I better stop talking, or we're gonna need part three. So I'm gonna turn it to you. Any intro, any thoughts on the mind as we get into this ancillary second part of the midseason classic podcast?
Um, I think it's just like I think we're seeing the seasons of the league play out, and I mean that figuratively here of we will have perennial contenders. Um, I feel like every team has their identity and a particular way that they draft, the type of players that they want, their roster constructions. So that stays consistent year over year. But I just love to see the ebbs and the flows, the variance, um, I one of my favorite things in the world. Shay gave me a call last week. We just us getting to chat about being at the bottom, working our way up, past years where we've been towards the top, when we have to slum it on given years. And I'm seeing that all the teams have to work through that cycle. So I just like seeing the turnover, and every couple years we're reshuffling the deck, and that's what makes it fun is that we don't know who's going to be emerging to the top each year. And now that we're 12 years into this thing, it just keeps getting better and better. And even for some of the new additions of like we have Stairway to Evans, your brother-in-law Nick Starr, but like joining last year, being in the mix towards the top of the league last year. This year, he gets to be a seller of stockpiling for next year. Lenoir, we kind of knew would be taking it on the chin this year with the team he inherited. Wasting no time, though, to begin gathering his draft lot as well. I look forward to seeing those teams build up and come back strong next year. That is my midway point. Hello, Carson Wentz.
Lev McConkey, congratulations to Fiona.
Fiana.
Real
Yep.
time score updates. A couple things. So the first thing I want to get into is trades that have already begun. Um, you looked into the trade deadline. I didn't know off the top of my head. Where are we at? We're in week 8. Was it week 10 that you pulled that's trade deadline?
Yeah. So that means we are in week eight right now.
Yes.
The trade deadline is week 10. And I think it's when the last game has elapsed in week 10, you can no longer propose any trades. So this is a good call to
Okay.
everybody that basically in 16 days, 16, 17 days, that is when the trade deadline will close. So props to the people that have already been active because you typically have to work with this long runway where you're usually not able to make all your trades at one time, trying to incrementally space them out so that you can get the business done that you need. But yeah, we're not there yet, but we're closing in.
That's November 10th is the end of week 10. So that's going to line up perfectly. If things transpire as they kind of have as far as the podcasts are concerned, perfect timing for a Q3 podcast update with the trade deadline recap. Um, and I don't know how it's gone so far relative to other years, but it's active, and we're a big part of that.
That is the sign of a healthy league. I play in other fantasy leagues because I want to have those connections to family, and that's fun. But it just doesn't matter as much as BAMS does, and it's because the level of engagement, not just in the text thread, but like I genuinely feel that I can make a trade with anybody in the league. I don't think that we have any particularly bad actors who are trying to screw anybody over. Most of the trades, I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. Like, I don't think we've had many vetoes in our past of just like egregiously off, imbalanced trades. Um, and I just like that it's pretty much it's just a league of 12 people who are either like everyone gets it, everyone knows the score, they know what they need to do whether you're going to be a buy team or a sell team, roles begin to really emerge and become clear as we hit this midway point of the season. And it feels like an open marketplace where anybody can talk to anybody. And that's why we see the activity that we're seeing.
Mm-hmm. One thing I'm going to point out that I noticed is a sign of a healthy league is our two newest. Let me backtrack a little. I think whether it's communication, whether it's activity in a league, I feel like that slowly grows with involvement, comfortability levels, whatnot. And the fact that we have Len and Nick, Scared Evans, Lenoir, integral parts and trades already is a great sign for the league. Two of the newest, least tenured teams already dealing. Love to see it. Can you see my screen with
Yes.
with the trades? Okay, let's get into it. Let's talk about the trades and more importantly, kind of where the teams are at. We have a whole podcast to talk about this. I do want to just kind of like structure this so we're not missing out. We have to dead some guys.
Oh
We have to
yeah.
dead some guys.
Do you want to
You
you want to
know,
dead now?
mm, yeah,
I mean,
yeah, I do.
I rolled out of bed ready to dead.
Tim, Tim, I don't know how this is going to come up. When I was in my mid 20s, grinding, trying to better myself, I came across a quote from Matthew McConaughey. He
Yep.
said he was on one of those loving talk shows, and he goes, "I said I don't start my day until I break a sweat." Now, he's gained some credibility over the years, and he's become a more prominent figure. But that was kind of like you kind of like laugh it off kind of deal. I took that to heart. But you know what else? Oh no. Lost my train of thought. I don't even know why I brought that up.
Matthew McConaughey breaking a sweat.
Wait a second.
We were gonna get into trades and we were gonna dead some guys, and I said I woke up ready.
Yeah, yeah. These days, in the past, it was like I don't feel comfortable starting my day unless I break a sweat. That's kind of like the hardo in me. Um, today, today, I don't feel comfortable going a week without deading a guy. Same idea.
Yeah, yeah.
Same idea. Woo, we got there. I'm
I felt like
literally one beer in. I'm one beer in, and I lost my train of thought. Go
I
ahead.
was I was tossing and turning in my sleep the past couple weeks, and it's a regulating thing. Like I can't really find peace and rest until I've deaded some guys. So I'm right with you. I'll start us
Until
out.
they peace and rest. Go
Correct.
ahead.
Let's start with quarterback. I'll keep this one very easy, simple, straightforward. Jackson Dart, because he's dumb as a box of rocks and he launches into people with his head. Concussion.
That's such a low odds but high hit rate guess there. Guess we don't guess. I'm going for the top. I'm going for the top. I can't say Herbert. It's already halfway through that game.
That would be a first ever trying to dead a guy halfway through a game.
Not going Herbert. Carson Wentz.
All right, we're gonna
If,
go.
if I'm going to take a risk, I'm going to take a higher risk
No, I like that. I like that.
or lower risk. Lower risk. Yeah.
We're gonna go to running back. I'm gonna go with Cam Scattaboo because he's dumb as a box of rocks and he launches into people with his head. Concussion.
Insert Giants reasoning. Gosh, everyone I'm clicking on is playing right now. I'm not going to do that again. Okay, I'm just going to go. You know what?
You're gonna double down on Tottenham.
Oh, you can see this. No, I'm not. Devin A. Chains. Yeah.
Oh,
He's small. He's small, right? He's a small guy. Am I right about that?
he's probably gonna be like 205.
Oh, okay. I mean, I'm not wavering, but I'm just 188,
Oh,
5'9", 188. No, he's yeah. You
yeah,
can't be a
little boy.
bell cow, and he's too much of a bell cow. And also, my goodness, that coach. Can we get a coach? Is that a first too? That guy. Talk about depression.
I this was it was planned in my head, but this seamless transition was not planned by you and I. We're going to receiver, and it's going to be Jalen Waddle. Talk about having negative dogs in your body, just no dog whatsoever. This guy, um, all he does is just make you think that he's worth rostering every single year, and he's terrible. Tyreek Hill gets injured. You go, okay, is this Jalen Waddle's time? There are guys like Hawkinson and Puka Nakua who they get in like 4 car crashes a game and they dust themselves off and they just get back up and they're total studs. Um, Waddle, watch any Miami Dolphins game. Waddle goes to the tent like 3, 4 times a game. Um, just a wuss, just a pansy. And the opposite of a leader, the opposite of a dog. And for a team that needs any sort of leadership, um, he's just like a frat house joy boy who's just gonna like not step up, not rally anybody, not inspire any hope. Um, and I think like a coward, they'll just be down 17 and he's just going to check himself out of that game.
I like that. It doesn't get hurt like every game slash every season. Maybe Jalen Wright. Am I digging? Am I correct on that? Is he that rookie? Who's the rookie wide receiver? I picked him up and thought I'd hit gold.
Malik Washington is there. No, he's like a His number is number 6. Jalen Wright was the running back up to Devon Achan.
It was Malik Washington. I wasn't close.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna shift over to Danny's Fang gang. Um, don't get me wrong, the mean regression will come, but I think we have a few more days of the unfortunate events. Um, I think Danny's Fang gang may turn into the Danny's Exterminations, and the the gentleman who he so aptly named Grave Flowers will turn into um, my dead pick for the wide receiver this week.
Seal. Kiss from a
Me,
rose on the
me,
grave.
me, me, me.
Nee.
Oh, against the Bears too. Against the
Yeah, no,
Bears
I like
too.
that. I like that a lot. We never wish
Little,
any.
no,
No, but
no, 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 no.
that knee's going.
Put the knee. All right, let's go to trades. Okay,
Trades.
so we are off and running. I think
The
I'm at the first trade. Am I at the first trade? Do we know this?
I was just about to say, I'm like, this
Gente?
is the first trade of the season.
Love it. Okay. I hit on it a little in that first one. I didn't want to, but I don't like it for Gurley. He's a great team, strong team. He gave away a second pick for Genty. Personally, we know my trade history of draft picks. I'm okay with that. And it's a long season, but yeah, tough.
This is
I think Jay wins early on. Early on. But go ahead.
Groles is known for it's flash, pop, risk. Like George Pickens is like a perfect draft pick for Groley. Like he goes for like swing for the fences of you might have behavioral issues where you might not play a game this year, or you might be fifth in receiving yards for the year. Like that is exactly the type of pick that Groley, and he just stacks those people on each other and he bakes in the misses with all of these really high ceiling hits, and it all seems to work out on the long term. But Genty is an interesting one where, I mean, this is nice work from Fiana to get out of what was a bad draft pick. I think this happens every single year. Taking a rookie in the first round, it's just so exciting. But when you don't pair it with any keeper value, like I think people are excited about rookies because they're like, oh, I get to keep this guy for a couple years. But if you're taking him in the first round, then you don't have any keeper value. So at that point, then you just have to hope that a rookie skill position player is going to have the best season any rookie's ever had at that position for them to return first round value. Um, so pretty early on, it's just like, oh, Vegas as an NFL team is a sell team. And you would think with Pete Carroll coming in, culture change, uh, they can't block at all. You can't even really tell if Ashton Genty's good because he has no room to run. Um, and I would also say Genty, whatever his best output was on the season, I believe Fiana looked at their roster, even though they're in the top 6 of our league right now. Fiana looked at the roster, said this is not a playoff roster, and Genty just had a good week. I want to sell on this good week plus the promise of what he came in to the season with and kind of get some dreams bubbling up in your head that Genty's about to take off. And that was the sell to Groley that had him give up the number 2 second round pick.
I love it. There's a handful of thoughts that go through my head here. This is not foolproof, but I'm a big target players on good teams kind of guy. And again, like I said, it's not a foolproof. I don't like running backs on bad teams. I don't like anyone really on bad teams. It happens, but I feel like if you focus on the good teams and the good players on those teams, good things happen. That's the one thing that I like getting rid of Genty in that regard. It's tough to have a running back on a struggling team. Number 2, Broly getting rid of a Cowboy. That's it. That's the comment. He's a big
I
Cowboy
think
guy.
And this could be
I
interesting because it's like Jaden Blue, we'd have to look at it, but probably was a around 10 pick. Um, so the
I don't even
idea,
know if it was that, but I'll look. Go ahead, keep talking. I'll look.
got it. That at the time, maybe there was a thought that Javonte Williams was going to drop off and Jaden Blue was going to start getting into the rotation a little more. You never know year over year, though. It's like Javonte could get injured and then they go to Jaden for next year. So, um, like, it's already, I think, looking like a win so far from what we know of Fiana getting that second round pick next year. But on top of that, slight potential of keeper as well.
So Jadon Blue, he's a bell cow if Javante Williams goes down, correct?
Yes, Miles Sanders was the other running back, and
Yeah,
he
yeah.
got injured again, and is very much towards the end of his career.
So I don't hate that either for this year because Javante Williams has a horrible injury track record in Denver. Obviously, that's not a sure thing. Jadon Blue's an eighth round pick.
Oh, okay.
I didn't think it was. I didn't even know if it was drafted, but okay. All
If
right,
you
that's
if you're a
one.
running back with a pulse in our league, you go before the 10th round. It's like the draft
Yeah.
capital that our league sinks in is absurd. Um,
Was this really the second trade
yeah.
of the season? Okay. Okay. You want to talk about it?
Um, yeah, pretty simple. We were coming out of
Seems straightforward.
a bye week. The Bears were. I say we. Um, and there was just that thought of like we're going to see coming out of the bye what Ben Johnson wants to do in terms of scheming up new roles. And usually how it goes is out of a bye week, that's when if you have a rookie that you want to get more involved, you have more time to build in some new wrinkles into your offense. Um, and Luther Burden is a 10th round pick. Um, so my thought was like, at least how I see it, when I saw tape on Luther Burden when the Bears drafted him, I'm like, oh, this is DJ Moore. They're getting rid of DJ Moore because Luther Burden is DJ Moore, um, just a younger version of DJ Moore. So I looked at this, and with Ben Johnson being highly involved in the personnel decisions, I was like, oh, I think they just don't like DJ Moore culturally as a fit on the team, and that Luther Burden is going to be the person that they want to start fresh with. Um, so that was the background behind it. And then also, DJ Moore was just, as I said on the last pod, but like one of five veteran receivers who just kept scoring 7 points every single week. That was doing nothing for me. I have six of those guys. So, like, I don't need another one that is just part of my rotation of who's sitting on the bench or who's going in. You're all scoring the same points. So I was just really frustrated, wanted to get him off my team as well. If you could click into DJ Moore, I'd love to see what he has scored um, each week this year.
It won't, but I can do it a different way. Um,
Now I
I
was gonna
didn't
throw.
realize.
I'll look it up because
Oh no, that's fine. Here. Um, yeah, nothing. One
this
12-point weakness.
and it's like we're halfway through the season now. So like, I
Yeah,
was just so over it. And Rome is so clearly the number one that I'm like, and you have your own frustrations with Rome in the number one spot. So I'm like, at best, we're talking number two role on this Bears offense that's been kind of frustrating. No, thank you. However, I would like to have the option of Burden, who could take off in the second half of this year, and I think safely is going to have a prominent role next year.
I didn't realize you mentioned how they're the same person, and the Bears were just bringing in a new DJ Moore and going to shed this contract. Do you think they trade him? By the way, DJ.
It's tough to tell. And like, it even started getting in my head of like, are they trying to give him just enough opportunities to make him look good so that they can chop him? I don't think they are, but I would not be surprised.
Yeah. That was a little weak. They're the same size. They're both 6 foot. and they're within 10 pounds of each other. I thought Burden was a lot bigger. I thought he was a different type of receiver, but no. Burden looks awesome when he gets the
And
ball.
that's the other thing is just my like forget the fantasy numbers that Luther Burden is returning, which I'd actually be interested of like how he stacks up in points scored thus far this season anyways, but like I just watch him with my eyeballs. Luther Burden's really good. He's just very talented. Every single time he has touched the ball, he okay, so like the 49th receiver to the 77th receiver with way
Yeah,
fewer opportunities and targets. So it's just like
you're right,
every time he's touched the ball, I'm like, yep, this guy's good. So
right.
here's your background.
Cool. That makes me feel better about I talked about in part one of this podcast my little tilt when I was playing Boyle. Dan, that Nog or Mud, spelled backwards, call him what you want. Um, that makes me feel better about it, though. Let's go to the next trade. It was with, man, I do pay attention, but I don't pay close attention. I forgot about this trade.
Look at
With
Fiana.
Fiana, and, yeah, yeah. I love this trade. Actually, what's the Florida been doing? I mean, I think Fiana wins it early. Forgive me if I missed some graphics in it, but he's a tight end seven, though. I mean, no, no graphics, straight up.
Straight up.
No, yeah, Jay, no, Jay wins this early on at least.
Yes.
Yeah,
And I mean,
but I
Laporta,
like the trade at the time for both. Early 3 weeks ago, yeah,
and I think credit to Fiana again, we'd have to look at the timing of it, but it looks like Laporta was coming off of a couple double digit performances as well. Ramondre kind of has the looming Travion Henderson thing over him a couple weeks ago. And since
yeah,
then, it's been revealed of like, oh, the Patriots want nothing to do with giving opportunities to Travion. So um, count count number two of good trades for Fiana.
let's talk sports talk. Push fantasy aside. Do you think it is more of a protect Travion's talent when Ramondre is doing well, or is it more we don't trust Travion, don't give him the ball? Where do you think those two extremes? Where do you think the notch lies closer to?
I think it's we don't trust Travion. There's two things that he had in his draft profile that were reported as strengths. Um, and one of them was pass protection, and he's been horrendous at it. And there's been some really bad things on tape of just like him being frozen. It sounds like he's you kind of have options of how you want to treat a rookie of like the soft positive reinforcement support versus the like slap them around and shove them in the corner. And it sounds like it's the latter where they're just like, you don't know what you're doing. And he just looks rattled. He looks like he is in over his skis and doesn't know what to do. Um, and it sounds like from a leadership and coaching standpoint, like they're just pushing him further into like, you don't got it, kid. You need to be humbled right now and learn how to do the things our way. And we will show you that we mean it by not giving you those opportunities.
Yeah. And that was talking real football with Bill Brooks. I love it. You gotta inject that in this podcast while we have you on it because it is a waste resource if we don't. Let's move on to really is this one the next one? I think it is. Um, I'll talk about it. This is the one that just went through yesterday with me and Stairway to Evans, Nick. Um, I mean, this is simply I've won 2 championships in BAMS. Both times I've traded for a top player. Devontae Adams 5, 6 years ago, and Barkley last year. And I said, one, Amon-Ra's been on my team. We're familiar. He knows the clubhouse. He knows the coaches, coaching staff, all of the gen. He knows he knows everyone from the janitors up to the coaching staff here at the stadium. And bringing him in, he's number one wide receiver. We weren't going to take no for an answer. So not much negotiation, if I'm going to be honest. There was an offer in the first round. I said, you want him? We're going to give you a great offer. Um, I think there was some negotiation on the pick coming back, but Darnell Mooney was the obviously the roster equalizer. Had a great year last year, slow start, but an option on a bench and pretty straightforward beyond that explanation. I went into the trade with the mindset that I just laid out there, but also that I've lost two matchups recently. I was 3-2. Now I'm three and what was that? Am I 3-5? No, I'm 3-4.
You're 3-4.
Anyway, I lost two close matchups.
You were 3-2. You're 3-4.
Yeah, no, easy enough. Two matchups to under 500 teams. We need to make a move. We need to be relevant. We need to make the playoffs. That's where it came into play from. So, he's on bye this week. He's not going to contribute, and that is a delayed segue into the next trade. But any thoughts? Anything on this? That's pretty straightforward.
I like 6 minutes left here. I like a cut and dry trade. I like usually first round pick. It's just straightforward. You're getting the best receiver thus far this season and perennially a top 5 fantasy receiver, and you're paying the appropriate price for it. So boom. And I touched on it earlier. It's gonna be very cool to see Nick starting next year with 2 first round picks. And then for you, mentioned it in the text thread, but Amon-Ra is just the perfect culture fit on your squad. You mentioned maybe in the bye week he takes that extra time to familiarize himself with any new staffing changes that the commish has made, but no surprises here. He treats the owner, commish, with the same level of respect as he does the janitor on his way in. He's got his own secret handshake with him. That is the type of high character guy that you're bringing into your building.
Character is not valued enough in the league, and all the champions do value it. It seems common sense, but take this as a bit of advice. But anyway, character big. But yeah, we're happy to have him. He's number one receiver. We're buying him at his peak. We hope he stays close to that. I have another trade, but before that happened, Breece Hall moved
Yes.
to the dope ropes. Floor is yours.
Probably a head scratcher. This is a very clearly an attempt at a buy low. The problem with a buy low is that you could buy low and the guy stays low. I looked at this as if we redrafted today, Breece Hall would probably be drafted in the 3rd round. So I tried to make that pretty equal in terms of what I was passing over to Nick. This is, I think, the price pays off appropriately for Breece Hall if he stays on the Jets because they should be working in Tyrod Taylor, who's just a real quarterback, and Justin Fields is not. Where Breece Hall could probably just get like 7, 8 passes just dumped off to him per game. So that's going to be my floor play. Is I paid a 3rd round draft choice for a guy who's going to get a bunch of dump off passes on a bad offense. Ceiling is that he's in a contract year. He is on a sinking ship and a team that really doesn't even need him or appreciate him. He is, when we go back to eyeball test, elite talent, super, super explosive. I think he has, he's like in the past 2 years, he's the most, has the highest explosive play rate of any running back. So it's just like, if he gets traded to a contender, Breece Hall is going to be a massive scoop in this trade. So that is the gamble. And I I wanna channel my inner Puka sometimes and just be like, you gotta roll the dice a couple times. But right now, Brees Hall sounds like a super underwhelming, lame guy to pick up, and he might just be that, which I'm okay with. But things could change pretty drastically as the NFL trade deadline comes up 1 week before our trade deadline in BAMS.
Hard hitting catch. I did not know that. Thank you. Put me on the spot. Do you have any teams in mind for yourself to go to? I got a top five potential teams if you don't, or if you
Um,
do as well.
I mean, Kamani Vidal is doing pretty well for the Chargers, but I know Chargers are out there, Houston Texans are out
Yep.
there,
Yep. That's two.
Chiefs.
There's three more on the list. That's three.
Okay, I don't know. Give me
You
the
will.
other two.
I don't expect to get the other ones. Thank you. Bengals and Commanders.
Oh,
I'll tell
yeah,
you what. If he goes to the Chiefs,
yeah. So there we go.
all right, we got one more. We got a minute and a half, and it's mine. So I'm just gonna talk about it. I did a little more negotiating on this. That's not it. I did a little more negotiating on this than the last one. It was Diggs and Troy Franklin. I'll be transparent. It started with Troy Franklin. I traded for Amon Ra. He's on a buy. I still need someone. I had some crap on my roster. Um, and, and I noticed that Len had Steph Diggs on his roster. Another former commissioner team. I think he was part of the championship team
Yep.
squad. We got less than a minute. But um, I will say I proposed a third from a higher pick because I'm keeping my fourth is going to be, I think, Quinton Judgments next year.
Got it.
So I was like, I'll give you a higher pick, and I want another pick. It was the pick coming back was a little higher than seven. Um, I'll tell you right now, I think I lost this on paper today, but I also know the value that depth has in week 15, 14, 15, 16, 17. And I know, it's confidence in yourself in waivers and beyond the draft. So,
Depth,
um,
depth, depth.
depth. And this is Lenoir building his team for next year. So I think all around, everyone's happy. And that, Tim, if nothing comes across in this pod